Hi guys, Rachel here. Happy Halloween. Yes, I am recording this on Halloween. It's around 5 p.m. So I hope you all had a pleasant Halloween, as I don't know when I'm going to get around to posting this, but hopefully soon. So we are just going to stay at home, as I mentioned in a previous video. We were thinking of going back into Salem to see a friend and trick or treat, but my daughter said she would really just like to sit home and relax with a friend and some spooky movies and treats. And that's what we're going to do. It's pretty windy out there tonight, actually. Yeah, I am going to be making some paprika hendel after I finish this video. So you might have heard me oogle over paprika hendel in some of my previous videos. I talked about it in my February video. That's Candy's reading challenge for February, and I shared a recipe. I gave a link in that video, so anyway, I might link that below. So I'm really looking forward to the paprika hendel because I haven't been able to eat it for months and months because I was so sick with my endometriosis. It really does a number on your digestive system and everything. So I am feeling better. This is not a health update. I'll talk about that at some other point, but I think I can handle it now. I think I can handle the hendel. So I'm really, really excited. And we have a friend here, one of her friends, and I hope he likes it. So anyway, this is an October wrap up. So what did we do in October? I'm just going to talk about a couple of events, some movies that we watched, a couple of books that I read, things like that. You guys know the drill. I'll also show just a couple of decks that I worked with in October that I didn't show in my previous wrap up, and a few decks that I am hoping to work with soon. So October, we went to the MFA to see the Rachel Ruysch exhibit. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I think that's how we say it here anyway. Oh my God, so beautiful. You guys know I love the Dutch masters. So she was from the Netherlands, and she was born in 1664 and she died in 1750. So she lived a very long life, and she actually painted well into her 80s, and she had 10 children. 10 children. And she's known as being the most respected female painter of the age. She had an extremely successful career. She was actually hired as a court painter. And when she died, there were several poets, amongst others, who wrote works in her honor. So it was really inspiring to see a woman artist from her time who had such a wonderful, prolific, respected career. And she was married. A lot of women artists, their works kind of dropped off after marriage. Not so with her. So it sounds like it might have been a happy marriage. I'm really looking forward to reading more about her. And there was another woman as part of the exhibit who I found really inspiring. Her name was Maria Sibylla Marian. She was a German entomologist, a scientific illustrator, and a naturalist. And in the early 1700s, she published this book, which has been very influential amongst naturalist illustrators. In fact, until her studies and breakthroughs, it was believed that insects were born of mud. And Rachel Ruysch was one of her students. So let me show you actually the book that I got. I don't know if this is all going to fit in the frame, but this is a gorgeous book that I've been watching for some time. and I bought it in the museum gift shop there. I'm sure I'm also going to be sharing some photos from the exhibit. But yeah, I mean, this book is like huge. I'm going to have to move this guy for a second. I've always loved these still lifes. The light is bad. How can I fix that? Now that makes it darker. Let's see if I can do that for a minute. I don't really like that lighting, but that will suffice for my purposes. I've always loved the still lifes from this era of the Dutch masters. But I didn't realize, like, there's just so much more to it than that. Can you see all those little guys in there? So in many of these paintings, the flowers, and I think even the insects, are from all over the world. And that was really striking. There was actually a map as part of the exhibit highlighting all the different regions from all over the globe where these specimens came from. So they were really studying and seeking to understand all of this plant life. The reason Rachel was able to paint them in such detail is because hothouses had recently become popular in Europe. There she is, right there, Rachel. Yeah, this is a beautiful book. So we had a wonderful time at the exhibit. My boyfriend, my daughter, and her friend who came with us. And I just find it so inspiring. And I was kind of going down a bit of a rabbit hole regarding Rachel Ruysch and also Maria Sibylla Merian. But I'm like, now is not the time, because I have to be thinking about Goth Lit November. And by the way, sorry, my throat is all dry for some reason. I bought these silk flowers in the gift shop. I could not resist. It's part of the exhibit. So much fun. So much fun. Yeah. Look at this. Look at this beautiful bird. Actually, I think I took a photo of this, so I will be inserting that. But I should move on. And also, I should mention, Frederick Ruysch was her father. And I believe Rachel actually taught him how to illustrate. I think she taught her father and her sister. So Frederick was a botanist and an anatomist, and he developed new methods of preserving specimens. So this book here, which was also part of the exhibit, but I bought later, is called Frederick Ruysch and his Thesaurus Anatomicus. Anatomicus. A morbid guide. Yeah. This fits right in with my love of like cabinets of curiosities and all of that. I would love to show you what's in this book, but I shouldn't, because it's not going to be for everybody. There are some photographic examples of his collection. So it features like real heads preserved incredibly, and things like arms and all sorts of things. And I don't want to show that to anybody who doesn't want to see that. But I mean, these specimens were instrumental in people understanding the human body. So anyway, I'll look and see if there's anything like these are drawings. Maybe I can find a drawing to show you. But I don't want to, I don't want to show anything upsetting. Wow. I mean, yeah. Anyway, if you're interested in that sort of thing, look up this book. It's really amazing. So after the museum, we walked around Newberry Street. I hit Trident Books. I got this really cute bag when I was in there. Let's see if I can show you this. See how it's for Halloween. After, like, let me take the stuff out of here and then maybe I can show you the bag. So, yeah. See, isn't that cute? Love it. So when I was in Trident Books, I picked up Nikita Gill's Hecate the Witch. Yeah, I've been hearing about this and I like poetry, so I hope I enjoy it. And it was actually a really, really nice price. And I also picked up Beginner's Guide to Tarot. Because Gigi was showing this recently and it made me think, like, I've been actually wanting to pick up this deck for a while, and yeah, she kind of pushed me over the edge to do it. But, you know, it's a classic Rider-Waite clone. Excited for that. Now, let's see. What else happened in October? Well, last weekend, we actually hang on. Let me light some incense here. Sorry that my my voice is all like gravelly. My throat is suddenly kind of dry. So last weekend, we actually decided to brave the crowds and we went to Salem. We went on Saturday, stayed over at a friend's house there, and came home Sunday evening. And that was really the only way to do it, is to stay over at a friend's house, which wasn't a big deal because we love visiting with Emily. But again, we took an Uber ride in because we knew there wasn't going to be anywhere to park. And my daughter wasn't really crazy about the crowds, so it was kind of difficult to get her to come out and join us. But our friend Emily has recently started doing walking tours with this company. And so Mark and I were thrilled to join her at 1 p.m. for her first tour. And oh my gosh, I've never done a walking tour before. I didn't think it was something that I was going to enjoy. I guess I was under the misconception that a lot of it might be just kind of hyped up nonsense, but it was awesome. I mean, my friend had to talk for like over an hour and a half. She really had to project her voice. There's no microphones. And it was a true history lesson of the witch trials and all that. And really factual. It's just amazing what she can remember. I mean, I know you have to practice a lot, but I mean, she did not skip a beat and she never lost her voice. I would have lost my voice. It was so much fun. And then afterwards, it was so funny. We were walking around and we found this guy dressed up as the Gabagool. Like, do you guys know the Gabagool sketch? It's so funny. I think I might have a photo to share you. And he was handing out free Italian hoagies, like free subs, like free food. It was amazing. It was so cute. And then we picked up some Chinese food for my daughter, brought it back to the house and snacked. And we went back out, went to the tea shop. It was crazy. We had to wait in line. There were certain places that I wanted to hit just to pick up like favorite incense and staples that I need for my house. And I couldn't because you had to wait in like a ridiculous line. But some of the places were easy to access. Like I got into Hive and Forge, I got into the Deal in Marcus, even though there was a little bit of a line. And then at around 8 or 9 p.m., I actually went back out again with Emily for her second tour. I thought it would be fun. Eleanor and Mark, they stayed at her place. Eleanor had homework to do anyway, and Mark took a nap. But it was a blast. I mean, it's definitely louder and crazier in Salem at night in October. But so it was harder to hear Emily, but it was still fascinating, fun to be walking around at night and seeing things lit up in a special way. I actually was able to get some interesting photos of the cemetery there in the center of town. And I actually helped out a little bit. Like, I made sure that the group was staying together, and I was able to answer some questions that some of them had. And I'm happy I was actually able to answer a few questions because I wasn't sure I was going to be able to, but that was a lot of fun. And then afterwards, we watched The Witch, you know, the Robert Eggers film. I have it right here. Emily had never seen it, and oh my gosh, perfect after after our historical day. This movie is so good. I mean, I can't think of another movie like this era and this topic that is actually frightening. I mean, I've seen a handful of other movies where there's people naked in the woods chanting and dancing and doing terrible things, and it was never scary to me. Like, when I was younger, I was just kind of like, oh, that's cool, I want to do that too. But this is horrifying. It's amazing. It's such a good movie. Oh my God. So that was fun. But I did wake up at, like, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning for no reason. I think maybe her cat was meowing. And like, I couldn't get this movie out of my head. And it was like really immersive because I wasn't fully awake and I was really scared. Even though I've seen this before, I've just been having some struggles with like sleep and nightmares and things. But oh my gosh, that was so much fun. So much fun. And Emily made some popcorn on the stove. Wonderful night. And then the next day, after coffee and pastries, we went back into the common. I didn't mention the night before we went, they had, you know, they have vendors like food trucks and just different vendors. And we went back and we all had lobster rolls, sat at this little picnic table. It was fun. We went to the flea market and yeah, like we headed out of town like after 4 p.m. at some point. And that was really a blast. So I was glad we were able to do that. And like I said, we were thinking about going back in for Halloween, but we're just going to have a quiet night. But that was fun. Let's see what else. I will talk about the movies that we watched very briefly. So I did mention this in my Gothlit November video. I will link that below if you're curious. But I watched Raintree County with my daughter, and I won't like reiterate what I already said in Gothlit November, but yeah, Eleonora thought that this was very gothic, like Southern Gothic. We watched Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde because it's been October. We watched a ton of movies, actually. Not as many as we normally do because my daughter has had so much homework, but I'm just going to talk about the ones that I own. This version with Spencer Tracy and Ingrid Bergman, also Lana Turner is in it. It's so good. The acting is extraordinary, especially Spencer Tracy and Ingrid Bergman, but this could be super triggering because, wow, I mean, for some people, for some women, this is actually real life, okay? So just be warned of that. But if this is a really good movie. We watched The Trouble with Harry. This is an Alfred Hitchcock film. This one is so much fun, like perfect for this time of year. It takes place in New England, in Vermont, actually, in the fall, and the colors are just gorgeous. It's this beautiful Technicolor film, just like dripping with colors. It's beautiful, and it's really funny. I don't want to spoil it for you too much, but basically it's this small town, like maybe a village, and they find a dead body in the woods. Everybody keeps stumbling over it, and they're all trying to decide what to do with this body. It's so funny, and I love the music. Bernard Herrmann, you know. And then we watched The Birds, another Alfred Hitchcock, and this had been some time since I had seen this, and watching it again really got me thinking about the psychology behind it. It's so fascinating. And my daughter had never seen it before. Yeah, I'm sure you all know the birds, but yeah, this is good. This is fun. So what else? What else did we do? I will show you the things that I got very briefly in Salem. Just my things. I don't think my daughter's things are in here. I got this cute little bag. Look at the little rain cloud and the sun and the alpaca. So much fun. What else? Oh, wait. One of the things my daughter got is in here. Isn't this so cute? Oh, the cute little guy. I got this at the flea market, Animal Speak, the book. I thought, why not? Cool. I got this book of fossils. Isn't this cute? I am obsessed with, like, I don't know, this vintage of illustrations, and it's the saturation of the colors and everything. I mean, you know, some of the information in here might be a bit outdated. I don't know, but like things are always changing. So whatever. I think this is so darling. It smells really nice. Yeah. Okay. Excited for that. We got these catnip toys for Stormy that we tend to buy when we're in town. They're handmade. So cute. By Not So Kitty. Not So Kitty. There is an online shop. I think it's still up anyway. At the tea shop, we did buy some oolong tea, but they've recently opened up a second room filled with antiques. It is beautifully curated. I had a lot of fun talking to one of the shop owners. Just amazing. Eleonora saw this rattlesnake specimen that she really wanted. I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it is really cool, but $285, like, anyway, I got this little statue here. This is actually, the guy was telling me, this is actually from the MFA, the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, but it's a vintage one. It's like from the 70s. He actually bought, like, he bought everything that this dude had. He was actually the man who sculpted all of these for the museum. So he bought the remaining hoard, and yeah, some of them were available for sale in the shop. Really cool. Oh, one of the things my daughter got is still in here. She really wanted this, the Oxford Book of Greek Verse. She really, really wanted this. And let's see, when is this from? Looks like this is probably 1954. There's an introduction, but then all of the verse, it's all in Greek and it's not translated. And I told my daughter that, and she's like, I don't care. She's like, I can use Google Translate. And she's like, besides, I want to learn Greek. Now, she told me she wanted to learn Greek when she was like 6 years old, I think. I had a book with me when we were in a gunquit. We were staying there for like a month, and you know, like this little seaside town. And I can't remember what I was reading, if it was Aristophanes or, I don't think it was Aristophanes. I don't remember what it was, but it was one of those dual language books. And Eleonora grabbed the book and she was copying out the characters in pen. And she was telling Mark and all of his musician friends that she was learning Greek, because that's how she used to talk. She's like, I'm learning Greek. I'm going to learn how to write and speak Greek. But anyway, I really love that. I'm not making fun of her. I'm not. I love that. So this is her. So I guess she hasn't abandoned that idea. She's 14 now. And what else did I bring in here? Man, there's like, oh yeah, I guess we got some Pokemon cards. Yeah, we did go to the comic book shop. That was just like randomly in there. Yeah, got some more soap at Hive and Forge. Orange You Glad. This is one of our new favorites. And Seven Thieves. This is an all-time favorite. Red Antler Apothecary, I think. Yeah, what are these Pokemon cards? I think these were the ones that Eleonora grabbed for me. Like, yeah, I love Ghastly and Gengar and... Oh, cute. Okay. All right. Forgot about those. I also picked up at Hive and Forge. I got the last copy of the 3rd edition of Oracle of Oddities. I've been in that shop so many times. They had a bunch of these different editions, and I never picked them up. I think I bought one of the editions like a year ago or something, and it was the 1st edition. And I just thought, you know what, whatever, this is the last one. I'm just going to get it. And I'm glad I did, because I didn't really know anything about these different editions. This is completely different from the edition that I have. So like you can combine them. And I think there's like a pre-order out there for like a new edition, and it's like expanded. Maybe it combines all of them. I don't really know. I don't know anything about it, but I can't get it. She can't ship to the United States, so it's fine. I have so many decks. I have Antique Anatomy, I have the Memento Mori, and I have a couple of these Oracle of Oddities, but it's really beautiful. Sorry if I'm going too quickly for people who really want to see this, but I'm trying not to make this video too long because I've been having a hell of a time trying to get these off my phone, off my editing app to upload. I've been having storage issues. So this is already longer than I wanted it to be. Very quickly, Candy reading challenge. So this actually, I think I mentioned this in my last video as a book that I had just started. It took me about 10 days to read it. Not too bad given its length. This was not something that I had selected for the reading challenge, but I just figured I'd talk about it. So yeah, I read this in October and I liked it. Middlemarch by George Eliot. You know, it's about a bunch of people who live in this little town, and it's really all about the impact that our lives have. Even if we don't make the history books, right? We all leave our mark, and we all have an influence on the story of mankind. So I liked it. For the reading challenge for October for, I don't know how to say this, October, you know, read a book with an animal on the cover. I read The Wind in the Willows. I absolutely loved this. Like I was saying, it dawned on me, I don't think I'd actually ever read this. I was familiar like with the cartoon version. But yeah, so cute. I really love the illustrations by E.H. Shepard. The book is by Kenneth Grahame, if I didn't mention that. But yeah, it's a bunch of animals. I guess very like allegorical. And you're left with this sense that if you have a clean house and a cozy bed and warm food and friendship, you have it made. I absolutely loved it. And I will also mention that currently I'm reading Nathaniel Hawthorne's Tales. Talked about this in a couple of videos, like my September, early October wrap up and Gothlet November. Really having fun with this. I'm hoping to visit Concord, Massachusetts soon. It's actually not far away at all. It's like 20 minutes away, I think, 20, 30 minutes away. But I haven't really been to Concord in quite a few years for any reason. And I've never been to the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery there. And that's actually where Nathaniel Hawthorne is buried. Like I was saying, his ancestors are buried here in Salem, but Nathaniel Hawthorne is buried in Sleepy Hollow Cemetery, and so is Louisa May Alcott and some other authors as well. So I am really hoping to make that adventure soon. You know I love a good cemetery. And other than that, I will talk about a couple of decks that I'm hoping to use soon, like for Gothlit November, maybe just for November. I've mentioned this before, the the American Renaissance Tarot. I haven't really like shuffled this up or anything yet. Now, the reason that I'm saying this is because, well, if you're very curious, you can check out my walkthrough of this. It might be a little bit fumbly in the beginning. It gets more interesting near the middle when I start talking about a couple of authors I really love. But the reason this could work for Gothlit November is, okay, well, there's Edgar Allan Poe. That is obvious. And maybe I'll read some more Poe this year for Gothlit November. But there's a bunch of Nathaniel Hawthorne and Herman Melville. And you might not be thinking Herman Melville Gothic. If you're curious, you can watch the Gothlit November video I just posted. There's Herman Melville right there. But the book that goes along with this is amazing. I haven't really read much of it yet, but what I did read in my walkthrough of this deck really intrigued me. And I think that it could be a great learning experience. So yeah, there's a lot of like Frederick Douglass in here. I think this is going to be, I don't know, I think that this could work for Gothlit November, okay? Especially because of Nathaniel Hawthorne and Herman Melville. Because those are two of the authors that I want to focus on. The Haunts Oracle, okay, by Stacey Williams Ng. And I actually bought the trilogy, but I'm just going to show you the Haunts. Like, this is an obvious choice. Thinking of using the other decks as well. I don't really know too much about this deck yet. Again, I know I'm going rather quickly, but we're at almost 40 minutes in, and I was really hoping this would be shorter. It's so hard for me to do these wrap-ups quickly, guys. And I know it's not a very big deal. It's just I'm really struggling with the storage on my phone. Yeah, I'll mention very quickly a couple of decks that I used in October that I didn't mention in my September, early October video. The Mini Thoth, I used this a lot. I love it. You guys know I love the Thoth. I don't really have to talk about that. And then the other one is the Happy Halloween Tarot. I've been using this every day this entire week, you know, the week leading up to Halloween. Perfect for that. And it's just, I'm so in love with this and the guidebook. It gives me such wonderful messages and it really makes me smile. And it's another deck that can lend some humor, but also a lot of comfort. Like, this is really a hug deck. Look at this tower. I mean, it's so cute. It's so old school. And I love how this feels too. It's like this linen cardstock US Games, and I'm just in love with it. So I'm going to wrap this up. I really hope that this video will upload for you guys. I've been having such a terrible time with that. But anyway, thank you for being here, if you're still here. And I will see you soon, I hope, with maybe a Gothlit TBR. We'll see if I'm going to do one of those. No, I will. I don't know why I said if. I always do. But I might have some other things lined up for you as well. So again, happy Halloween, everyone. Take care. Bye.